Hi, I'm Nan Simonson. I am a health and wellness coach with a lifestyle medical practice, and I am, as I say, married to the precepts of lifestyle as medicine, as outlined by the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. They are um, certifying hundreds of doctors, doubling, I won't say every year, but we doubled for a couple of years because so many physicians, allopathic physicians, realized that what they hoped to be able to do to cure the sick, they hadn't been experiencing because pills and procedures don't do that. It's lifestyle, it's medicine. And today I'm going to talk about something that is part of lifestyle. And the pillars of lifestyle medicine include nutrition, and they promote whole food plant-based, include movement, and they go along with recommendations, national recommendations of at least a 150 minutes a week with some resistance training every week as well. And it includes community. And in the background of this PowerPoint group is a PowerPoint group, and we'll discuss what I'm about to record so that I can put it on YouTube and save it for anyone who is interested in this subject. But then also resilience, which includes stress management as well as prioritizing sleep. Well, under all of those precepts, I could say there's value in journaling, but especially under stress management. And I did a group meeting this morning for the clinic, and it was brought up that sleep is better when stress is managed. And that is true. I think most of you realize that. When I wrote Aging Powerfully, 6 months before turning 70, my point was with these 10 letters under Powerfully to give 10 lifestyle recommendations, which include the pillars of lifestyle medicine for aging well and aging long. I'm 73, and I feel that if we look at our age, be you 50, 60, 70, 80, and we through lifestyle and belief in our own power, decide that we're going to go decades longer. I'd like to go 2 to 3 decades longer. We put certain things in practice. And one of the things, well, as it relates to stress management, there are several things like meditation. I have a meditation video on the PowerPoint. It's called Satanama meditation. And I've been doing that since I brought it up and did that video. And I believe strongly that what was stated about it scientifically, that it helps with memory, it helps calm the nervous system, it helps prevent Alzheimer's. All of these things were recognized in lab studies with people who practiced this kind of meditation, any meditation, but including this one, showed benefit. Well, another thing that has been mentioned, well, besides mindfulness, is journaling. And that's what we're talking about today. Simple, wise, and hows. That's not even proper grammar, I think, but I did it anyway. Simple, wise, and hows of journaling. Recently, there were several reasons for me to want to have the ability to get information about my past. One was medical past, to see how things have, well, quite frankly, to confirm that things have improved so much since going whole food plant-based. And being able to detail what there was before and then before that and before that in increments of 5 and 10 and 15 years. I began, my first journal page was in 2006 when I went to India, when my son, who had just graduated from his, had just gotten his graduate degree, went to India as an intern for, not a medical intern, for a company in 2006, and I went to visit Delhi. Later, if you've read my book, you'll know he also spent 3 years in Mumbai, India, but this was well before that. And that's when I began my journaling. And what I found was interesting is I started and stopped journaling. This may be your experience, but when I picked it up again, there was usually something on my mind, something that I needed to work through, and the journaling helped me do it. And the other thing that really caught my attention when I was going back, and I went back to, gosh, 2000, and that was 206 to 10, well, to 9, when my husband was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. And 1 year later, he died. I journaled the entire time because we knew he was terminal 7 months before he passed. And the reality is, so much of what we choose to take out and put down quite often is flow of consciousness, and quite often is then forgotten. Because again and again, this may not be your experience, but again and again, as I was reading my journal, I thought, I don't remember that. I didn't remember that happening that way. Interesting stuff. So enough of that. Let's just get right into this. I did some research. Oh, here's another thing that happened. Yesterday, I was on jury duty. I was on last week. I was excused Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I had to go in on Thursday and then again on Monday, and I was in the jury room, but there were a massive number of us, and it was to pick the jury plus the alternates, and they got through the first 28 people. They had a list, numbered list. It was a domestic violence trial, and they were very careful to ask the jurors, the judge did, the attorneys did, if they had domestic violence in their experience. And I thought, no, that would not be me. Was there anything that would keep you from giving a fair and just verdict? Oh, no, I thought, no, that wouldn't be me. And it was a homicide trial. The man was right there. We were told we would see photos of the wife and the deceased. Anyway, all of a sudden, it dawned on me that 100% applied to me. And I went back to my book and I thought, well, where is it? I would have written that. No, I never did, because it happened when I was 14. It was 1 full year after my mother married a very, well, the reality was that he was mentally unstable and an alcoholic, and we moved out of state to a place in Missouri, Poplar Bluff, Missouri, spent a year there of terror. It was just terror. And we were gathered up from high school one day to be brought home to the house surrounded with police and a priest, because he threatened he was going to shoot her. In any case, we were whisked out of town a couple of nights later by a teacher, and to get on a bus and go back to California, because they weren't going to do anything, because that was his hometown and we were the Californians, and they just weren't going to do anything. So we got out of there. The point is, I had put the reality of that completely out of my bandwidth until it came back in that courtroom full force, and I almost started weeping. It was such a difficult memory. It would have been smart and probably very therapeutic to have had a time or a place to go through that, write that down and work it out, because since then I've begun writing that down and letting it just free flow so that I can get that out of my mind rather than it being stuck there. And that's the point. And so we'll get to the whys and hows now. First of all, and as I said, then I did some research about it. Self-reflection, number one. Journaling helps you reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and experiences, leading to greater self-awareness. Quite often, these things just kind of float through our consciousness. They're not quite often formulated until we put them down. 2, stress reduction. Writing about your worries and anxieties can help reduce stress and improve mental health. 3, goal setting and tracking. It allows you to set goals, track your progress, and helps stay organized and focused. I know that when I decided to do a half marathon, I wrote down, I still have that, I wrote down the day, I'm going to do a half marathon. I hadn't even started running until I was 70, and it was 72. No, 71 when I decided to do the half marathon. And all of that was written down, so it helped me remember it. But I was able to track and keep notation of how it felt, how I felt, how I trained to do it. Goal setting and tracking allows us to set goals and track. Number 4, problem solving. Writing can clarify thoughts and help you come up with solutions and problems, or solutions to problems, problem solving. Number 5, creativity boost. It can spark creativity and help you explore new ideas. And number 6, memory enhancement. Recording daily events can help us improve our memory and our recall. So self-reflection, stress reduction, goal setting and tracking, problem solving, creativity, and memory enhancement. All of that by journaling. How to keep a journal. And all of this, as I said by the title, simple whys and hows of journaling, could be enhanced with additional information, journaling techniques. I'm not getting into all of that. You can Google best form of journaling, best thought starters, and this can become quite a deeply researched and therefore played out way to spend time. But this is a simple version, okay? Number 1, how to keep a journal. Choose a medium. Do you want it to be a physical notebook, a digital format? Do you want to record it into a some kind of vocal recorded file? So choose the medium. Number 2, set a regular schedule. Dedicate a specific time each day to write in your journal, whether it's in the morning or before bed. Last night, I went to bed later than I meant to, didn't journal, but I had said to myself, I'm going back to journaling, even if it's a couple of sentences. And so I woke up this morning and I just wrote a few things. Well, thought I was going to write a few things. It became more than that. But again, it helped turn that rumination, and I wasn't really ruminating, but there were things floating around, into something that was put down on paper and therefore out of my mind, at least in that way. Otherwise, we sometimes put a lot of effort into trying to hold on to those thought processes in the way we're thinking them, instead of just putting it down and knowing that, well, it's just like a shopping list, and then knowing that it's not something we have to hold on to. Number 3, find a comfortable space. Choose a quiet and comfortable place where you can write without interruptions. I'm finding mine works really well before, well, going to sleep, and or if I wake up, but I like the before going to sleep best. But a lot of people have actual writing areas, meditation areas that they can relax in. Number 3, find a comfortable space, choose a quiet and comfortable place where you can write without interruptions. Number 4, be open and honest. Write freely and honestly without worrying about grammar or spelling. And then I'm adding something to that I have to keep reminding myself of. Without worrying about grammar or spelling or handwriting style, or someone else evaluating, judging, or weighing in on your words or your thoughts or your honesty. That can slow us down and that can stop us from writing. Instead of worrying about that, be open, honest, do what you have to do to keep it private, and simply write. Number 5, start with prompts. If you're unsure of what to write, use prompts like, what I'm grateful for today. What did I learn today? One of my favorite is, my favorite part of yesterday was, my favorite part of yesterday was, and then whatever carried over in terms of not even necessarily concern, but additional takeaways. Start with prompts if that's helpful. Number 6, reflect on your entries. Periodically review your past entries to reflect on your growth and change over time. I couldn't have written Aging Powerfully if I hadn't had journals, because again, a lot of what I wrote in there, I wouldn't have necessarily remembered properly or in order or in detail. And it was very helpful. It was also, I'll say jarring, but that's okay, especially as it related to the more difficult times. For example, the time around my husband's death. He passed in 2012, July. This always happens. I get emotional and I've moved on, but it'll be tomorrow. He passed tomorrow. In 2012. Yeah, knock it off. Okay, reflect on your entries, periodically review them, and then and reflect on growth and change. And number 7, stay consistent. Make journaling a habit by writing regularly, even if it's just, as I said before, a few sentences. So I'm with a group. We're going to look at how journaling has affected the lives of those that are in the group. And I would invite you to comment on this YouTube video or wherever you find this video, and let me know what journaling has meant to you, how you do it, where you've done it, and maybe some of your revelations. I think that's it. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was informative, and hope to see you again soon. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and have a great day, because I know I'm going to. Bye-bye.